This week's episode of 86 Charles is brought to you by Amazon. Go to 86charles.com and click on the Amazon link before you do your shopping. In the year of our great reptilian overlord, 2016.
There is something incredibly dissatisfying about giving 2 weeks notice. It's a lot of build-up before, a lot of thought, a lot of consideration. You've had a lot of times to think about when you were going to quit. And then after you give 2 weeks notice, it kind of doesn't matter as much. You feel less stressed out, a lot of weight comes off, and for some reason, nobody seems to mess with you.
You are full of bullshit, my friend. I will sue you for everything you have. I will sue your ass.
Welcome to 86 Charles, with your hosts John Darby and Travis Spencer.
With that, welcome to 86 Charles. Travis Spencer.
John Derby, exciting times. Are you ready to tell America what you were giving 2 weeks notice for?
Well, yes. I have given 2 weeks notice to my current position, which in and of itself deserves celebration.
Wait a second. I didn't receive an email. I didn't get 2 weeks notice that you're leaving the podcast.
Because I would never do that. I didn't say I was leaving my
leaving?
passion, Travis. I was leaving my job.
You will never leave me, John Derby.
Of course not. I can't. And not only would I not leave you, but I cannot escape you.
Clearly, I am everywhere.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Omnipresent Spencer.
So you are leaving Los Angeles to move to Sacramento, Sacktown, as they call it.
About to straight rep the 916.
Nice. For a radio position, correct?
Yes, sir.
At what is the radio station?
We're not going to say.
You don't want to mesh worlds, or you don't?
Yeah, no. Heck no.
I mean, you've never cussed on this fucking podcast, so what are you worried about? What's the type of position? What are you going to be doing?
This is full disclosure. I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha.
I know what the requirements are, and I have an idea of what the position is, but in terms of them saying this is what you're doing, that's not happened. I just know all the things that I could be doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, John. I'm really happy for you, man.
Man, it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Not to be overly dramatic, but I think it's easily the best opportunity I've had in my life.
Right. With hopefully real room to grow in somewhere that you would want to develop and move up, right?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy to get a job where you actually feel invested and you feel like this could be the rest of your future.
Right. Yeah, totally. It's like I was thinking about that earlier. Two things really. First of all, that the restaurant industry can be very stifling in the sense that you make so much cash up front that it's hard to take that entry-level position maybe in something that you wanted to do more. And especially when you're young and you're not thinking necessarily about a career, it's really hard to take that, which keeps you in the industry for longer than you probably should be. I know I was caught in that for
sure. You lean on it heavier and heavier the longer you're in it.
Totally. And secondly, the 2 weeks thing is the worst because you always think about the day you're going to walk out of that stupid job and be done, and you're not going to need that referral anymore to put that thing on your resume anymore, where you're just turning over tables, throwing glasses at people, telling people to fuck off, fuck you, you're cool.
Exactly. I was
and
just
then you give 2 weeks notice.
Half baked is how everybody wants to go out.
Absolutely, and it does. But the reality strikes, and you can't do it, and you don't care, and you're just like, on your way you go. It's nothing upsets you that much. There was 2 or 3 moments throughout your tenure there that you would have done it had you been there now.
2 or 3?
Now that you gave 2 weeks,
there was 2 or 3 a day that I would want to do it.
Oh man, you run a short fuse, huh?
There was yeah, especially lately. I've been at the end for a while, so this comes totally. And because I've been working on this opportunity since November. So right. It's kind of been in the back of my mind, and I've kind of been prepping for it. And so I've just been gradually checking out, hoping that it was going to happen.
Totally. It's hard not to. Like when I left.
Oh,
it
it's
was the
really
same
hard.
thing. It was just like the worst thing I did was I was leaving during the week and then coming back weekends still, and I was just done.
Oh, just
Done. Did not care.
Yep.
It's like I need this last little bit of scratch, but I just don't care about you and how you have a gluten allergy or how you're hangry right now because you haven't gotten your food yet. Well, congratulations, man.
Hey,
I'm really
thank you,
happy
brother.
for you. It's gonna be an amazing move.
And hey,
maybe one day on the podcast you'll be able to tell our listeners, our loyal listeners, what radio station it's actually gonna be.
not unless the company buys our podcast.
Well, work on that. Hey, let me pitch you something, man.
But hey, let me
I gotta
say,
come up. We're gonna do a
honestly,
10-part interview.
Stop whatever you're talking about. This is a real thing. Honestly, could not have done it without you. The first podcast we did together, all of the stuff you've done for me on computers, in going through school, the things that I was able to learn just because of things that you've taught me, and it has exposed social media. I didn't even know social media until you. So honestly, straight up, could not have done it without you. I really do owe a huge portion of this to you and the things that you've done with me and for me and taught me, and yeah, so I really do appreciate everything.
I'm tearing up over here.
Nah,
bro.
well, good.
Tearing up. Well, Grasshopper, I'm glad that your wings have finally grown. I have done so much to incubate the tiny egg that was John Derby into the beautiful flower.
all jokes aside, though, you really have. It's in I noticed it a lot in school when I still send you things like, "Hey, is my computer broken or am I an idiot?" So,
no, man, I really appreciate it. It's been a good run. You've also helped me along the way, and it's nice to have, all my infinite knowledge be backed up by somebody who actually went to school for some of this crap. That definitely helps, because I'm like, there's a couple things. It's the same thing, It's like you want form to the chaos because I am pure chaos.
I was going to say, and it cost me a lot of money to learn what you already knew. So.
Well, it cost me money and time. So in a sense, it's all the same, But at least you have the thing that you can put down on your paper.
For sure.
Where
hey,
when you put down on a resume that you did your own podcast, people don't seem to give a shit.
That is a fact.
No, it's a beautiful thing, man. Good. This is a good move. This is good for everybody involved. Really happy for you. That's enough kissing your ass.
Yeah,
Let's move on to something else.
Let's get into the show that no one listens to.
We ain't stopping for nothing and you know this. Stay focused, 2 weeks notice. We ain't stopping for nothing and you know this. Stay focused, 2 weeks notice. We ain't stopping for nothing and you know this. Stay focused, 2 weeks notice. We ain't stopping for nothing and you know this. Stay focused.
I'm ready to start, get it going, get it flowing, get the party started. I bring you the facts and nothing but the facts, so help me, Charles. 86 Charles means 86. 86, of course, is a term that you're no longer welcome. You're out and expired. We have no more of you. We're out of that product. You are 86. 86 Charles. Best show, great show of all time. Yeah, it's 86 Mr. Charles. I refer to Charles, 86 Charles, 86charles.com. It's a good show, best show, great show of all time. For Mr. Charles, who's 86 Charles, this is Charles 86ing himself. Say, hey man, time to go. Get the f*** out of here. You're 86. Boop, 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 boop.
Nickel, what? 5 topics currently trending. Travis,
Yes.
how do you feel about sea lions?
Let's hear about them.
Rainier, Oregon has been taken over by hundreds of sea lions scouting the Columbia River for smelt, and the number of sea lions keep growing. Residents have mixed reactions to their new neighbors. Some love their presence. Others are kept awake by the barking of the sea lions, which happens all day. The city is working to prevent the sea lions from populating the dock. They're so large that they do significant damage coming on and off the dock. So yeah, it looks pretty awful actually. It's a lot of sea lions and they're all just making a ton of noise.
Have you ever sat and watched sea lions for a little while?
Not really. on television, I think,
they're
a little
fascinating. Right. They're a fascinating species. Different times of the years, they have different actions, like when they're trying to be the male, the dominant male, or when they're breeding or something. But like I think it was, I can't remember what month it was. I want to say it was spring. So they were mating, and you just get these giant elephant, the big males just coming up and just having their pick of ladies. It's like, it's ridiculous.
But
if you've never seen it, find it on YouTube. It's amazing. Or go up the California coast. You can see it just outside of like the Hearst Castle.
I hate the sound. I hate the regular barking kind of sound they make, or the crying, whatever, is oof.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
It's a good show. I'm saying it's a good show. Just bring some popcorn, take a seat. You'll have a good time. Guaranteed.
Stay out of Rainier, Oregon for now.
John, you remember Minority Report, right?
I do.
Your boy Tom Cruise?
So.
It's happening. Computers are getting pretty good at predicting the future. In many cases, they do it better than people. That's why Amazon uses them. Netflix knows what you might want to watch next. But now a team of scientists has demonstrated that a computer can outperform human judges in predicting who will commit a violent crime. In a paper published last month, they described how they built a system that started with people already arrested for domestic violence, then figured out which of them would be most likely to commit the same crime again. The technology could potentially spare victims from being injured or even killed. It could also keep the least dangerous offenders from going to jail unnecessarily. So this is kind of already being used. For 2 decades, police departments have used computers to identify times and places where crimes are more likely to occur, guiding the deployment of officers and detectives. Now they're going another step, using vast data sets to identify individuals who are criminally inclined. It's here, man. We knew it was coming. This isn't really in practice completely yet, but we have the technology and the data where they think that they might begin at least to put maybe an officer in the area where a criminal might. We already have that, right? Where more crimes are likely. But now we can individualize that data and really put it on.
Well, I hope
person. But
I don't want to get to a point where they're camped outside of somebody's house waiting for some guy to beat his wife or something. That seems weird. But
right.
if there's a way to get to people that you target as, hey, they're very likely to commit a violent crime again, if there's a way to get to them and maybe get them in some kind of program or if there's some sort of preventative measure you can take, I like that idea.
It's bizarre. I looked through and through this article. It doesn't say anything about precogs, though, so I'm confused. I don't know how the computers are doing it without precogs. You need some weird-looking bald
chick. Where's this pool that they're floating in?
Yeah, exactly. Where are the precogs? All right, let's move on. Maybe something a little lighter?
Speaking of crime, no, and it's not lighter. It's actually quite a bit heavier, like 5 tons heavy.
Damn it.
In Harpersville, Alabama, a man has agreed to plead guilty to a count of bank theft after using his position with the Brinks Armored Transport Service to abscond with $196,000, all in quarters.
Whoa.
That is 1.568 million coins.
How much does that weigh?
9,800 pounds in quarters. Almost 5 tons.
Almost 5 tons.
Compared to, that's the same weight of 2 Toyota Priuses or mid-sized giraffes.
Where did he think he was going to hide that many quarters?
So the Justice Department isn't clear on how Dennis got the coins out of the facility, but according to the documents and his plea agreement, he had access to the Federal Reserve, which included ballistic bags containing quarters in $50,000 increments. And in April of 2014, the inventory showed that 4 of the bags had been filled mostly with beads. Those bags all contained $1,000 in quarters, which had been strategically situated so the coins were visible through a plastic window in the necks of the bags. Authorities determined that Dennis had entered the Brinks facility in February of 2014, collected 4 empty bags, filled them with beads, and then placed the bags in the coin room. So he pulled the old switcheroo. He now faces a maximum penalty of 10 years and a $250,000 fine, which is a million quarters, which is 216,000 more quarters than he stole.
It should be eye for an eye. Where's Hammurabi's code? It needs to be the exact number of quarters.
He just has to give them right back.
Yeah.
He probably bought a bunch of gumballs.
Bold move. I was like, until I heard it was the Federal Reserve. You can't rip off the Federal Reserve. You know how many reptilians are hanging around there, bro? You can't get away with that.
No, never.
They're in and out. You don't even see them.
It's a lot of money, but I don't know how. How did you expect to convert all that into cash? Where were you going to keep 5 tons of quarters? Even if he had gotten away with it, it still seems like that would have been a ton more effort to spend $200,000 in quarters.
I don't know, man. That's $200,000. I don't know if it's worth it necessarily, but that's still a lot of money.
That's a ton of money. Don't get me wrong.
5 tons of money. Ha ha. Moving on. So, John, you have a degree in radio?
No.
What's your actual degree? No degree?
No degree.
Oh. Maybe you should go get a drone degree.
Ooh.
There's a new degree offered at LeTourneau University in East Texas in the unmanned aircrafts, has students looking to get involved, and the economics of the industry might be the leading factor. It's a practice ground for the next generation of pilots, and the developing industry is driving more into the field. This article doesn't necessarily say if it's the first such degree. I'm assuming it's one of the first.
Right.
But it seems like a pretty cool thing. I would definitely like to get a degree, and it's like video games and piloting together.
Well,
right?
it just seems a little oddly specific. I feel like they're doing it a little bit as a publicity stunt to let people know, hey, we offer a drone degree. I feel like it should be more. I'm fine with them incorporating drones into degree programs, but it shouldn't be specifically for drones. It should be, you're in robotics, or you're in engineering, or whatever the case may be. I feel like they're throwing it out there that it's a drone degree so that people like us will talk about it
to get some clickbait, right? But it is pretty specific in that, like, the article is pretty short, but it says that the professor who's starting it sees a growing field, obviously.
Sure.
So it's mixing in with the aviation industry and with data collection and stuff like that. So it'll offer a unique set of classes that possibly wouldn't be in either one of those fields.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. It's going to head that way. But I feel like in this particular case, it's maybe a rush to grab a little pub because drones are kind of a hot topic.
Hey, man, when you're LeTourneau University, how else do you get an article in, the local paper?
Fair point.
LeTourneau.
I guess I'll forgive.
Guess I'll forget. All right, well, work on your drone degree, and I think we got one more story, don't we?
We got one left. How was your winter?
Warm.
It was hot, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Federal meteorologists say that the winter that has just ended was the hottest in U.S. records, thanks to the combination of El Nino and man-made global warming. Thanks, man. The average temperature for the lower 48 states was 36.8 degrees, which is 4.6 degrees above normal, and that breaks the record, which was set in 1999 and 2000. All 6 New England states had their warmest winters. Every state in the lower 48 had winters at least 1.7 degrees warmer than normal, and Alaska was 10.6 degrees warmer than normal, which apparently was due to the arrival of one Richard Derby.
Shout out to Rich.
Shout out to Rick, always.
Rich. Let's call him Rich.
Hey, Rich is cool, too.
Rich Derby.
Oh, Richie D.
Richie D.
Yeah, it's hot, man. It's hot.
Yeah, 10.5 degrees, or is it 10.6?
10.6 warmer than normal.
That's crazy. That's man, here it comes.
Yeah.
You better get a drone that you can fly, that you can put your house on. That way you can get above the ground because the water's coming, man. Those ice caps are melting. We're all screwed. Jesus, that's crazy. It was way too hot. I went up and saw some snow last week. Thank God, that might be the last snow I ever see in my life.
Hey, if you listen to Leo, it was hard to find snow.
Leo DiCaprio? Yeah. It's hard to find snow.
In his Oscar speech, he was talking about The Revenant and how climate change is real because they had a hard time finding snow to film in.
You're going to listen to that Al Gore propaganda, lefty, liberal Leo DiCaprio? Get out of here.
No, I just thought it'd be fun to work that in.
I know, I just said that, but I just said that and agreed with it wholeheartedly.
I was going to say, I was actually supporting your case with someone who people care about.
You said the wrong word, Leo DiCaprio. Just go bang 25-years-olds and leave the snow alone, bro.
Even the bear feels like it's too warm.
That bear was fake. I gotta go. I can't talk about TV.
Sandra Bullock, Hugh Grant, She's not interested in money or superficial flattery or cheap glamour, so, what would I bring to the relationship?
2 weeks notice.
2 weeks notice. This my 2 weeks notice.
Jesse's favorite part of the show.
From last week.
Hello, folks.
So I had a first this week, and I can't really put my finger on why I love this so much. But there's a syphilis outbreak in Vegas. That's not the part that I loved. I just liked that part. I'm learning the difference between like and love thanks to Facebook's new function. I think I'm getting it. Anyway, I love that Travis laments the outbreak is ruining everything, and he starts by saying, "My hooker," and then stops himself and backtracks. And I got cocky. Silly Travis. What a blunder. He accidentally started talking about a hooker something or other. Gotcha. Can't get that one by me. And while I'm gloating to myself, I find that he's backtracked only to go into more details about the hookers. And getting that okie doke pulled on me made me love it even more. It's a hookers and March Madness weekend that's been ruined, but let me humbly submit, while the weekend may have been ruined, finding out about the syphilis outbreak just before you have a hooker weekend maybe just improve the rest of your life. I will also caution Travis, percentages have been on the rise since 2012, and if this is an annual trip, chances are one of your 3 previous hooker weekends is truly to blame for ruining this hooker weekend. This is Jesse, and being faked out was my favorite part of last week's podcast, followed closely by the opportunity to over and over say hooker weekend.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
It's time for the failed athlete perspective. Travis.
John Derby, you have sad news.
What is it?
Conor McGregor got beat up.
Is it
got
sad?
choked out, actually, right? Who did you pick in that
I
fight
picked McGregor.
against the person that you didn't know? Oh, that's funny. You didn't even know he was going to fight, and you're picking McGregor.
Yeah, I sure did.
You didn't know Nate Diaz was going to come in and stomp him.
Well, he didn't stomp him. He won, but he didn't stomp him.
It was a pretty good fight, but it was second round chokeout. Like that's
yeah. But I would say, honestly, right up until that, McGregor was winning that fight pretty handily.
Right. Nate just has a chin. He has a solid chin and couldn't get. He got rocked a few times, but he just stayed on his feet. Yeah. Just kept coming. Kept coming.
It's not like he's a scrub. He's a good fighter.
Right. I don't think he's ever held a belt though.
That I don't know.
He won the Ultimate. What's the TV show?
Yeah, Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, he won that, but I don't think he's won a belt in the actual in the big leagues.
I mean, he's been around.
But yeah, it's a
good
good fight. I had to watch it streaming because I'm a cheapskate,
sure.
And it sucked so bad. Bad quality, jumping and buffering. Watching sports streaming is probably the worst thing.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
If the audio is at least good, it's watchable. If the audio cuts in and out, I can't even do it. You know?
I can deal with the pictures maybe having to catch up, but if the audio's skipping in and out, forget that.
Well, and also if I'm watching, I can stream if I'm watching on my computer in my office or whatever. I'm fine with that, or by myself. But it's really bad when you're like, oh yeah, I'll just put it on the stream, and you put it on the big screen for like everybody in the room to watch, and then it's buffering.
Yeah,
then you're
it's
like,
terrible.
That's the worst. And then you're frantically trying to find a better stream. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The other big fight, Holly Holm got choked out by Miesha Tate.
Sure did.
Congrats to Miesha Tate, and congrats to Holly Holm, like getting choked out and going down punching. Pretty incredible, man.
I think it's weird that they both lost to rear naked chokes.
Nah, everybody loses to a rear naked choke at some point in their life, bro.
We've all been in that position for sure.
Sometimes in life. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the sheriff, bro. The sheriff is riding off into the sunset after winning the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning has retired. Are you sad?
No, it was time to go.
Yeah, I'd seen enough.
It was time to go.
Great that they pulled it out, won the Super Bowl. Does it tarnish his legacy at all that they won a Super Bowl essentially without him?
No, I don't think so. No one's going to really remember that.
Right.
And I've seen
Add the
seen other
second
Super
one.
Bowls won by quarterbacks that just didn't go out there and lose it. It's fine if he's one of them.
No, but I mean, okay, so you have the Eli. Eli won those Super Bowls.
Sure.
Right? So he really has 2 Super Bowls. Peyton Manning was definitely the better quarterback, has 2 Super Bowl rings, the best regular season quarterback we've ever had, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about ever, but yeah, he's in that conversation.
I think it'll
sure.
always come up in the conversation that he has 2 Super Bowl rings, but yeah, the second one he didn't do anything.
I don't think you need to put an asterisk by it by any means, but I think we all kind of know what it was. We all saw it.
He's a better game manager than Trent Dilfer, although Trent Dilfer's numbers are probably better in that game than Peyton Manning.
Oh, I would imagine, sure. In the Super Bowl, yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Also, actually, bigger news, because we all knew this was coming, is Calvin Johnson retiring, man. It's kind of sad, especially if you're a Lions fan.
Wouldn't it be more sad to see him not win any more games and then limp off the field? It would be more sad if I felt like he was leaving something behind. What is he leaving behind? There's nothing there in Detroit. Nothing's going to happen there. He's not going to win anything.
I will retire
ever.
unless you trade me. Say, I will retire unless you trade me. Go try somewhere else, Try to get out of Detroit. Do whatever power leverage you can get. Maybe they can get a...
But when you lose for so long and it's the same situation over and over, I think you just check out mentally.
Go to the Patriots. Go somewhere with,
Patriots aren't fun to play for. You'll win, but that's a different environment that you need to know.
I don't think he wants to win. It's not about having fun. He wants to win. He's a competitor, It's like he wants to win and he doesn't want to get beat up.
But I feel like
he's been really banged up the last 2 years.
He thinks he sacrificed too much of his body for not enough victories. So he's done sacrificing his body because financially he's fine.
So you don't think he's going to take 6 months like Pac-Man Jones says and then come back?
Maybe I wouldn't say that because he could. I think a lot of guys don't realize how bad they want to scratch that itch, and maybe I think he'll take at least a year off.
Right. He's still. Oh, you think a year? I don't know. I can see him.
Because if he takes 6 months,
this year.
I don't think 6 months is gonna do it. I think if he takes a year off.
Well, what if the idea with that is that his body will heal up in 6 months. He'll start to feel good again. The legal, or it'll come September. It's that time of year again. He stays off. Lions suck. He's thinking about coming back. Comes out of retirement. Lions will get a first-round pick or something because if they trade him to a contender, right, they would definitely be willing to give up a first-round pick.
Didn't Carson Palmer missed a full year when he retired? Didn't he? Maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, but that quarterback I think is a little bit different. Because quarterback, you need to really come in training camp. A wide receiver might be a game changer.
He came back in the middle of the year
season. When he was with the Raiders.
Yeah. He came off the couch.
But he was on the team the whole time. He was signed with the Raiders, wasn't he already?
No. He got traded after Jason Campbell went down.
Gotcha. It's still different. Quickly, let's move on to the NBA.
Lon Babby is a bloody wanker.
Very important news. The Suns are on a 2-game winning streak after defeating the Orlando Magic, going for 3, which will be tonight, Thursday night, against the Knicks. I think we got this. I think we got 3 in a row, bro. Over your boy, Kristaps Porzingis.
I'm not sure if Porzingis is playing tonight.
That's tomorrow night, but
tomorrow night. No, it's tonight.
Thursday night, but this will post Thursday, so you're right.
Right.
So you're right in a roundabout way.
No, I'm right in the actual way.
Who you got, Suns or Knicks?
I'm going to go Knicks. They need it more.
Shut up. Done with you. We're
done.
Flying like a streamer from the old West to pull up deep inside, so give me 2 weeks, you won't recognize.
It's time for the Facebook World News Update. This Real to Someone News Update is brought to you by Proper Notice, the least satisfying way to leave. A man in California said with Nestle stealing all the clean water and Donald Trump trying to take over the world, it looks like we need Batman now more than ever. Hashtag I stand with Gotham. A man in Los Angeles said that Ghostbusters movie looks terrible, just like every Melissa McCarthy flick. Saw the trailer and wanted to vomit like the ghost in the beginning of it. Hashtag caca.
believe in the two-party system. I don't. It's irrelevant what you know. The polar opposite is what's to be shown. A binary world is what you have. Zeros and ones. Moms and dads. Beyond everything you know. You must believe that there really are only two sides. Black and white. Darkness and light. Wrong and right. There are no shades of grey in a two-party system. Only absolutes. Absolute nonsense. But it is genius. If you never want change. If you actually want to keep the status quo. No matter which side you choose. You will begin to think the other side is opposite of you. Even though they are your neighbors, your peers, your kin. The upper caste must keep you separate. For their own protection. Evil versus good. Yuppie versus hood. Establishment versus misunderstood. I cannot be a part of this political game. It's a filthy joke and it's all getting quite lame. I'm going to bow out now. I'm going to vote for a third party. I know this game is rigged. And we are all going to be sorry. If we go down with this ship. Either the left or the right. Let's vote for a cat, and maybe everything will be alright. The cat party's time has come.
I don't know what they have to say, it makes no difference anyway, whatever it is, I'm against it. No matter what it is or who commenced it, I'm against it.
A woman in Boston said Jimmy Fallon is as annoying as he is unfunny. New England usually makes comedy juggernauts. He's just a not. A man in San Francisco said if you need him, he'll be soaking in a tub of mac and cheese all day. A man in Tucson said, is he the only one that might walk out of Superman vs. Batman if they force Wonder Woman into a romantic relationship with Batman or Superman? It would be like the Zod neck snap all over again. P.S. He won't walk out, but he will be vocal and possibly stand up out of his chair. This Real to Someone news update is brought to you by Proper Notice, the least satisfying way to leave.
Dad's got notebooks. We don't know what's in her notebooks. She's gonna show us all her notebooks. Little yellow pad.
Squirreled away in an old notebook was not something I wrote, but something I was given. It's a boarding pass for Reno Air. Well, 2 boarding passes, seat 7F and 11F, from a round trip from Los Angeles to Portland. And a receipt for a movie called Beavers, which is an IMAX movie shown at the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, not a porno movie. A movie about actual beavers. And the importance of this is not that it is an airline that no longer exists, even though it doesn't, nor that I flew 1,000 miles to watch giant beavers build a dam. Rather that this ticket was bought for me by my friend Raleigh right after I started my current job, which shall remain nameless. For all you people who only talk to your friends on Facebook, this is what a real friend does. I'll explain. You know, many people come to Los Angeles to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. Shocking, I know. So I do that, and I spend a year in my friend's living room, sleeping and temping during the day, and just doing lots of stuff, you know, living the high life, until finally I get a real job and an apartment of my own. Yay! But prior to that whole year before I got my job, I was really doing all that crap everybody else does, right? I'm temping, I'm doing transcription, oh my God, I did transcription for a Spanish language television show, and I don't even speak Spanish. I did, I was a PA on a kind of creepy movie shot up in the Hollywood Hills that, you know, will probably be on like Cinemax, except I don't think there was any real nudity, but it was still kind of creepy. And I also was a PA for Reading Rainbow. And also I worked as a PA for this kind of mean producer lady who fired me after 2 days because I didn't really understand how chyrons worked. And then, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's what I spent my year doing. And finally, though, I have a job and I feel like a real person, but I have no money. This friend of mine who I've been wanting to hang out with and see for this period, but I couldn't do it because I was trying to get a job, finally says, all right, you have a job. You need to come visit us. And he knew I couldn't afford it. So he bought me a plane ticket so I could go visit him and his wife and hang out in Portland and go to an IMAX movie and I don't drink beer, but I'm sure they had beer and we had a really nice time. I've always thought after these years that, that's what friends do. Like when your friends are having a crappy time or when they finally get a break and they can have some fun, that it's up to you to help them. And, look, I'm not putting this out there so that people will now make me buy them plane tickets because real honestly, plane tickets are a lot more expensive these days. But I would do that for certain ones of you, not you, but some of you, the rest of you. I would buy you a ticket to come visit me and hang out with me because you know what? I still have a job. Now I live in a house. I have a guest room you can stay in. I have 2 cats, so I hope you're not allergic. And mi gato es su gato. And that's really it, isn't it? Be good to your friends. Go visit them or have them come visit you. Buy them a plane ticket if you can afford it, or, they can buy their own, or send them a greeting card. Don't just hang out with them on Facebook and social media. And if you are in the position of moving to a new place to pursue your dreams, well, I hope you have a super good personality like I did, because it's super hard to make friends. It is, but it'll happen. It'll totally happen. Have a great week. And thanks, Rolling Annie, for my plane tickets. Maybe I might throw it away now. Bye.
Yeah, hey, you know what? This is my 2 weeks notice.
Sam Hain! Forever! Ha ha! Oh!
I've brought bread
to men, women, and children.
I've brought water with lemon for the table.
I have hot tea.
Can I box that for you?
I'll bring your change.
So I used to be a lifeguard at, can I say? At a YMCA. That's a widely known organization. But so we would have these 4:30 a.m. shifts during the summer. We'd have to go open up the pool at 4:30, and then the pool opens at 5, and people can swim before work. So I knew this guy who would work the 4:30 a.m. shift every day, and what he would do was he would just put on his sunglasses and sleep. Because it's usually it's not kids or stuff. It's just people who are exercising. They know how to swim. Usually there's nothing that goes on. So he would just sleep for another 2 hours and then go to high school or whatever. And so then one day his glasses fell down, and so while he was sleeping, so some girl took a picture of him and showed it to the manager, and he got fired.
Wait, he was just sleeping in the chair?
Yeah, he was just sitting there in the chair sleeping while the working people are doing their swim laps.
That's really. We have a story about that with.
Really?
To fall asleep at his desk, and someone took a picture of him and then emailed it to him and his boss.
He got
But
fired?
he didn't get fired, but they thought it was funny.
Oh.
That's the difference between
That
being a
is-
lifeguard.
Well, yeah, you can't sleep while you're a lifeguard.
That was Candace coming back to tell us another work story. Obviously one of Deb's friends, because everyone is. Travis, you ever fall asleep at work?
Probably. Definitely at my job now, I technically fall asleep during work all the time. But that doesn't
feel
really
like that's
count.
part of your schedule.
So I can't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess not. Done mostly restaurants. It's hard to fall asleep. I used to, when I was a lot attendant at a Chevy dealership, I used to drive home in a Chevy, go get high, and then go back to work. So not sleeping, but that's probably the worst thing
That's
to do
pretty
on the
good.
job, where you're driving around in company property, smoking pot, and then going back to work. That was pretty
it's not
fun.
bad. When I was a
How about you?
busser at the Olive Garden, if I had to work a morning shift before we would open, I'd go catch a 5 to 10, pretending to crap, take a little nap in the handy stall.
How do you do that? Like, doesn't it stink? It's not.
No, it's before the place is ever open, so it's as clean as the bathroom ever is. Just go sit in the bigger stall, put your head down, not like in your hand, not like on the toilet or anything.
Yeah, but that's where you're sitting on the toilet, though, right? That's the only place to sit. It's just, I don't think. How can you get comfortable?
Well, as comfortable as you can get, and when you're 18 years old and you were probably out drinking the night before, it's whatever you can get. Close your eyes for 5 minutes.
You're a wild man. I can't sleep in a bathroom.
Well, it's the same as like sleeping on a plane. You can sleep on a plane, can't you?
Yeah, that's completely different.
Not completely. You're still sitting up.
You're in like, I'm not on a cold, hard toilet. You're at least in a softer chair. It's not a great chair.
You have more leg room you have more leg room on the toilet.
Yeah, but you're not going to have leg room anywhere because you're a tall.
Not true. In the handicap stall. That's why I'm in there.
Did anybody ever walk in on you while you're doing this?
No, I was going to say if a random employee ever walked in, it just looked like someone was dropping a deuce.
Poncho didn't come in and snort some coke for the morning shift to get up and going. Poncho.
Nope.
Thanks again, Candace,
Always
for the story.
The stories.
Keep them coming, please. Great stories. Who else we got to thank, John Derby?
Jesse, Deb, always.
Of course. Shout out to Jesse and Deb doing great work out there in the field. We're going to be a 3-city podcast now. Los Angeles, Joshua Tree, and Sacramento. Wow. We're almost covering all of California.
And then you're leaving pretty soon, aren't you?
Yeah, a couple months here. I'm going to be moving up to Idlewild, a little mountain town. Yeah. I'm downsizing. There's way too many people in Joshua Tree. I need to go to a place with 6,000 people in the city.
That booming metropolis.
That way everybody in town. Actually, technically, it's not even Idlewild. It's in this town called Pine. Oh, what the hell is it called? Pine Cove. It's called Pine Cove, and I'm pretty sure the population is 721.
I was gonna say that sounds like a camp where kids get
like
killed.
That. Totally. And I mean, I'm not going to give away my secret identity, but I may or may not be the new serial killer coming to town.
The Pine Cove Killer.
What's that hockey mask he's got?
It'd be your gas mask. Come on.
Oh yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Where can the people find us, John Derby?
Start at 86charles.com. You'll never go wrong.
That is 86charles.com. You can follow us on the Instagram, on the Twitters, at Company Blaster. We're on iTunes. Please subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on Tumblr. Just search 86
What if
Charles
people shop at Amazon?
on the great interwebs. And if you are an Amazon shopper, like our good friend Kimberly Mueller?
Kimberly Mueller.
But it sounds like Moeller. Shout out to Kimmy Mueller, clicking through Amazon.com. She says she's going to buy some freaky things for us to read on the air, so we're excited. I guessed that she's going to buy life-size unicorns, unicorn dolls. It just seems like something she would like. Kristaps Porzingis. So, yeah, if you go to 86charles.com, please click on the Amazon link before making your purchases at Amazon. It won't cost you anything extra, and we get a little scratch. Yes. Thanks to the people who are already doing it. John, they're not going to. America's not going to hear from us for a couple weeks.
Maybe just one. Might just
leave
be
us
one.
with maybe just one, possibly two. But John's got a big move. A lot of business to take care of. And then once you get there, it's going to take you probably a week to plug in your computer in the first place.
After several
it's a lot
phone
of work
calls.
for you. Yeah, I'll be blowing up left and right. One word.
Gracious.
The new boy in the neighborhood lives downstairs and it's understood. He's there just to take good care of me, like he's one of the family.